Today I'm going to show you an awesome shell that I couldn't keep because of a hermit crab, a perfect tiny tulip that I also couldn't keep, and some crown conch in action. Welcome beach lovers, this is SWF Beach Life. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe and the bell icon so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. Today we're going to be checking out Bunch Beach. This is the live beach. This is full of critters and really awesome things to explore, and that's what I like to do when I come to this beach. We're going to start off with this really beat up Florida fighting conch. Not much going on here. I don't usually find these here, so that was a little unusual. And it's empty, but I'm not going to keep that. That's pretty beat up. Look at this guy. This is a big old chunk of lightning whelk. That would have been huge. That's pretty cool. You can tell it's a lightning whelk because the aperture would have been on the left. And what do we got here? That's another Florida fighting conch. Most of it, not all of it. Looks like somebody was trying to get the calcium from that with all the little holes in it. And here we have some sort of worm snail of sorts. Kind of cool. Here we go. That's what I like to see. That is a lightning whelk. Let's go in for a little bit closer look. Oh, look how pretty. I love these guys. It's in great shape. It's not a juvenile, although it's not all big and slimy. We'll probably see some of those as the video goes along, but oh man, isn't that pretty? All right, critter, go get bigger. Here we have, look at this, a banded tulip. I was so excited, but it's alive. Ah, look at this little operculum, little buddy. I was really psyched to find this guy, but can't keep it. He's got to go back and get bigger and do his little snail life thing. There we have, that is a live crown conch. He's a little slimy, not too bad. These guys are actually really, really pretty shells. The different colors, and they're all spiky. I'll tell you a little bit more about those guys as the video goes along. And then we stumbled upon this, which was kind of interesting. Here you have a snail eating a clam. That's a crown conch on the left, eating a sunray Venus on the right. So he's down there. That's what the crown conch eat, anything that they can kind of catch. So they will go after scallops, clams. They also will go after whelks. So it's a snail eat snail world here. I thought that was interesting. Here we have another live crown conch. They're kind of purple and spiky. Oh, they're just cool. And then right next to it is another guy. He's a little bit slimier. These guys are definitely not pristine here anyway. They get pretty discolored and slimy, but I still think that they're neat and fun to kind of check out. All spiky. They can grow up to about 5 inches. I've never seen one that big, but they can get up there. And here we have another one. He's a little prettier. See that purple color? Not quite as slimy. Slime factor is a little bit lower. He's kind of cool. Here we have a lightning whelk. The juveniles tend to be much prettier. The colors can kind of really come out. This guy looks a little bit older. Still pretty awesome though, right? Yeah. And I got some spikes too. Not quite as aggressive as those crown conch spikes, but those lightning whelk do have those little spikes. Look at that, yeah. On the outside. Here we have another crown conch. I'm going to go with slime factor of pretty up there. He's pretty slimy. Pretty colors. I didn't realize that those guys had an operculum too. Who knew? Here we have another live lightning whelk. Be careful with these guys, right? I've seen prettier, but still impressive. Oh, so cool. They range in a lot of different colors too. This guy tends to be on the pink side, but they can get brown, white and brown. They'll have, some of them will have that pink hue. It's pretty cool. And there's another lightning whelk. We'll leave this guy be. I'm gonna go pick up. We'll be here all day if we pick them all up. Here's another one. So this is what it looks like if you, when you're looking, you're just kind of like wading through the water, and you're gonna kind of look for something dark, like about that. You get a little closer, and then you discover you have found a lightning whelk. That's really all there is to it. And the water here was a little bit higher than it normally is, but we still, of course, traipsed around looking for stuff. There's another one. And then we found one after the other, after the other. So take my word for it. We found a bunch, but we figured we'd go back and pick up the biggest one, just kind of check him out a little bit closer. We had found a really big one. I guess it was the day we found the seahorse. I'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at that. But these guys, still big and impressive for sure. Too bad you can't keep any of them. They all got to go back. We'll just check them out. Oh, so cool. It's funny, as many as I find, I've only found one or two that have been actually been eating. They eat about once a month, and they eat clams and things of that nature. They come up on them and jam the lip of their shell into the bivalve. So it's kind of interesting. I bet you this is a crown conch. Nope, I'm wrong. It is a lightning whelk. Look how pretty. That's why I like the juveniles, because they're pretty. Pretty colors. That's also where they get their name, lightning whelk, because of the zigzag pattern on the juveniles. He's got his wee little operculum. Aw, pretty. All right, buddy, go get bigger. All right, this looks like a crown conch. And here we have a lightning whelk. I know, surprising, right? Ooh, there's one. He's got his foot way out. And there's another one. Lightning whelk to the left of me. Lightning whelk to the right of me. Oh, juvenile, I love those. Yeah, those are really cool. And I appreciate that it's alive and it's got to go back. It's funny because I really don't feel like, oh man, I wish I mean, yeah, I guess I do feel like that, but I just find so much joy in finding these critters that, I don't know, I'm happy to go put them back and let them do their lightning whelk thing. See how pink this guy is? Look how different. Oh, they're just neat. Some people actually, Indians used to eat these guys. In some areas of the world, these are eaten. We don't eat them here in Lee County because they are not allowed to be harvested. Here's another guy, or girl. There we go. That's another pretty decent sized ones. I guess that's why I like the juveniles, because they're so much prettier. The older it seems that these guys get, they kind of get a little more discolored, and I guess like anything else, they just kind of lose their shine. Yep, it was Lightning Whelk Palooza, which I was really happy about, because this is the first time we're back at Bunch Beach since the beaches were closed. So they're open and pretty much the way we found it. The beach was a little different, not as different as it was in Sanibel, but another juvenile, yay. And I often find shells about that size in Sanibel, but never at Bunch. I just don't understand. Always live in Bunch, always shells in Sanibel, so it's interesting. Oh, this was kind of different. I usually don't collect this. This is what I believe is a half-naked pen shell. I was hoping it was alive. It wasn't. It was empty and full of barnacles. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. Something different. A big one. And there we have, that's a crown conch shell. more on the brown side. I like when they're usually, well, not usually, but they can be like that purple color, which I think is cool. And here, you have an empty Sunray Venus. I wonder what ate him, because I'm pretty sure something did. Pecked clean. And here, we have another crown conch, but this one is actually empty. There's no critter, it's not alive, no hermit crab. I checked it out for a long time just to make sure there was no critter kind of hiding in there, like a little hermit crabs will hide. But, and look at this shell. Yes, I was so happy. It's not alive. Wait a minute. Ugh. That was a dang hermit crab in there. I was bummed. But he's allowed to do his thing. I get it. Ugh, what are you gonna do? So I wanted to get a little bit better look at him, but he wasn't coming out, so I just kind of put it back where I found it. That I was bummed about, but first come, first serve. That's the way it works. Here we have, this is usually the way I find these shells, a bunch, really white, bleached out. Here's another crown conch. A little brown. Kind of hoping for that purple, but what are you gonna do? And here's another crown conch with 2 holes drilled straight through that. Now a moon snail will do that. It will drill holes into its to what it wants to eat. So that's what probably got this critter. But I'm gonna keep the shell at least. Kind of neat. There we go. There's another crown conch. Uber slimy. That's so slimy it's got hair. Good camouflage though. Well, not good enough for me, but I guess for other critters. And that's another crown conch, or for most of it, part of it. And there's that kind of that beige color that I usually find the shells a bunch looking like. Yep. Another crown conch. Pretty slimy. Pretty spiky. But alive and well. So we'll put them back. And this looks like a little bit prettier. They really are pretty, even though some of them are really slimy. They're such pretty shells with their little spikes and the purple, this different pattern, the stripes on them. I just think they're neat. Look at that guy, he's big. And the spikes on that lower whorl. Kind of cool. So this is Bunch. It is known, at least as far as I can tell, to be a very shallow beach, which makes it really fun and you can really kind of walk out there and explore. So I had walked out pretty far. That's the beach. I'm out like in the water. Far. Just kind of checking out. I found sand dollars, live Florida conch, and here we have a lightning whelk. He's got his own little ecosystem going on there. Kind of cool. Pretty slimy. So once the tide really started going out, I was able to catch these guys in action. That is a crown conch, and he's just kind of motoring along. They will eat anything they can catch. They are carnivores, so if they can catch it, they'll eat it. I just thought it was kind of cool. You can kind of see him better than I usually could because the water was so shallow and he was actually moving around. Good camouflage. Right, you can kind of, you barely even tell what this guy looks like, but I found another one. He's even better camouflage. It looks like just like a lump of, look, there he is. I don't know what, a lump of algae just kind of moving, but that is a crown conch motoring along. We'll take a little bit closer look. I love how their foot is like black and white. It's actually kind of pretty. But that is That's what one of those guys look like in action. This is another reason I like Bunch Beach, because when the tide goes out, it will create these tide pools. So you have these little fish kind of swimming around, and there's just all sorts of things to explore. I only found that one hermit crab. That little guy took my shell, but that's all right. Beach conditions, beautiful, total social distancing. Everyone was behaving. It was really, really great. Now, I didn't record finding all these things. You can see I found a couple tulips. I found a cone, but I figured I just wanted to show you. There's a cone. And I also got, see, that's the one I was able to keep. I got a little bored and I started looking for tinies. So that's some oyster. I don't usually find, I think that's an oyster. There's that broken crown conch. And some augurs and seraphes and whatnot. And then I was looking for the tinies, these little bitty shells. I have these little glass jars I kind of think are fun to put those in. It's kind of cool. Little bitty shell. So that was my haul for the day. Here's a little bubble. Oh, and here's your public service announcement. Do not store your shells in metal containers. I use this strainer to clean them, but I'm not going to store them there because they will get rusty. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought. And make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my beachy goodness.